What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video in the next episode of the MotoGP 25 career mode for part number 20 today at the Malaysian Grand Prix in Sepang. If you missed any of the last episodes, I recommend you go back and check it out because it has set the scene of a pretty exciting final couple of rounds of the season. So far, 2 races to our name in terms of victories, 7 podiums, 2 fastest laps, 4 pole positions, and we've got 3 more races to go. We've not stood on the podium since our win in Misano, and we've had a bit of a difficult time since a 4th, a 6th and an 8th as we head in towards the final couple of rounds of the season. Here's a couple of rumours going on in Moto3, Moto2, and then we'll eventually get onto MotoGP and move there potentially for Manuel Gonzalez into the MotoGP World Championship, and then a couple of moves, Quartararo in Aprilia, Marquez in Aprilia. There's a couple of exciting moves moving forwards into the final couple of rounds and then towards next season. So as we head into opening practice for the first session of the weekend here in Sepang at the Sepang International Circuit, not my most favourite circuit, I must say. It's very long, very technical, a lot of mixture of fast corners, changes of direction. There's a few areas on these Moto3 bikes especially, whereas you change direction, if you have the weight towards the rear of the bike, it wheelies on the change of direction and it lands on the side of a tyre and it causes a whole lot of difficulties. This corner here, the change of direction from turns 2 to turn 3, this really long fast right-hander being one of them as we head up towards turn number 4 for our first flying lap, and then skipping on to the end, hitting the brakes for the final corner again, and a little bit of a wobble, a little bit of a protest really from the front of the bike, and then we get a big slide on the exit of the final corner, which really doesn't help the drive onto this very, very long front straight, and you can see a little bit of frustration there flicking the camera as we head down towards the start of our second flying lap, but hopefully it will be better all round as we head through turn 11 towards the 12-13 section that remains at the forefront of many MotoGP fans' mind after what happened here in 2015, 10 years ago. Now in towards turn 13 and then 14, pick up the late throttle, get it on the power, get it on the fat part of the tyre and drive down towards the final corner. We are 8/10 of a second under our provisional fastest time, and we are only 4/10 of drift from Guido Pini, so we're probably on this lap going to go P1 as we get a much cleaner exit. Had a few attempts at it to get the throttle down, but all in all cleaner, and across the line it's just about a second improvement, and we go top by half a second over Guido Pini. And as we head into the final couple of minutes of this session, I think we are comfortable at the top of the timesheets, and we are indeed. So there we go. We dominated free practice, or practice 1 on Friday afternoon, fastest by half a second over Guido Pini. Angel Piqueras rounding out the top 3. And interestingly, our championship rival, Adrian Fernandez, all the way down in 22nd place. So he has got to come through Q1 if he wants to get a chance of a pole position shootout. And we're going to find out if he's managed to get into Q1. Or Q2 very shortly. He does indeed. He gets 3rd in Q1 behind Bertelli and Rueda, and is joined by the second Red Bull KTM bike of Joel Kelso. But anyway, we have got ourselves to focus on as we come out of the final corner to start our flying lap. 4.5 minutes left on the clock. We've sat back and allowed the riders to post their banker times, and it's a 2:09.5, which is about what we did in practice, I believe. So down in towards turn number 1 for the first time in Q2 in absolute anger. We get it pulled down just about for a late apex, nearly just about, and then through turn number 2 we're getting on the power. We change of the direction and we have a huge moment, exactly what I was talking about at the start of practice there. The bike protested as the front wheel landed, and that's definitely cost us a little bit of time as we now climb up towards turn number 4. Later on the brakes, we missed the apex though. We're in very deep, and then we run over the curb and unfortunately invalidate our lap, and then the next lap isn't really much better. We get off to a poor start, missing the apex at turn 1. We hit the apex there, later apex at turn 2 to try and stand the bike up more as we get on the power to avoid that little wheelie and wobble as we come through the first sector. It's half a tenth under, but then we drop a little bit of time in the middle sector. Now through the tricky turn 9, and then again another danger point with the front wheel popping up in the air through that turn 10 section. Now pick the braking point and then get it in towards turn 11. We have to sit up because we went in a little early and then ended up getting caught on the inside curve. It's cost us again a little bit of time as we come through towards the final sector. We're going to get the sector point any second now. Are we under, or is it a personal best? It's 2 tenths, nearly 3 tenths of a second off David Munoz in that sector, but we know that we can have a really strong final corner. We're better in this final corner as we've got 30 seconds remaining on the clock. It will be last chance saloon as we head through the final corner here in Sepang. So we've got to spot the braking point. There it is. Get on the brakes. Back end coming round on us as we just peel into this turn 15 hairpin. It's neat and tidy-ish. Wasn't potentially the fastest way round, but I think it's good enough. So as we come to the line, what's the lap time going to be? A 2:08.9. We found a lot of time in that final corner, and we are going to be pole position for Sepang. Pole position number 5 of the season is David Munoz and Noah Detweiler on the front row as well. Dennis Foggia 4th, Ogden 5th, putting 2 CIP bikes inside the top 5. Bertele in P6, Guido Pini 7th, Lanetta 8th, Quiles 9th, Moodley, Rueda, Kelso. Where is Adrian Fernandez? We've got to go a long way down the order to find our championship rival, Adrian Fernandez,
who will celebrate victory in the Malaysian Grand Prix. Riders have completed their warm-up lap and are lined up on the Sepang grid, ready for the off.
So, I will apologise firstly for the audio of this race. I had an Elgato capture card problem, so I'm recording on the PS5, but I left my microphone on, and the microphone is on the controller of the console, and for some reason it's all recorded the audio quite muffly, but that doesn't matter now as we head towards turn number 1. It's not a good start. Munoz and Detweiler moving into the lead of the Sepang Malaysian Grand Prix, but we cut aggressively to the inside, over the inside curve at turn 1. We give Detweiler the room, he gives us the room as well, and then into turn 2 we get ahead, but we're hung out to dry, and Noah Detweiler, the man who had a catastrophic incident in the real life Malaysian Grand Prix, just here on the outlap, on the sighting lap, leads the virtual Sepang Malaysian Grand Prix, which is quite fitting as we head up towards turn number 4 for the first time. He uses a bit of inside curve there, does the CIP bike, as we head down in towards turn number 5. Again, Detweiler very quick to lean in there. A lot of lean angle early on there from Detweiler as he really threw it on the side of the tyre, but through the little chicane section we're trying to go the long way round Noah Detweiler in towards turn 7, and we do get ahead of the CIP bike. So now we lead the Malaysian Grand Prix. Clear track ahead of us, and if we can hold the lead all the way down to the final corner, we know that we're quicker in that final sector, down that back straight and through the hairpin. So we've got a little bit of time in our back pocket to maybe extract in that section of the track, but we need to make sure that we try and stay ahead through this section. The clouds are gathering above us, and we know in Malaysia, in this part of the circuit, as Detweiler throws it to the inside there, we had to sit up. There was contact between the two of us. There's an investigation between myself and Detweiler. 2 lines just coming into one. We were much wider. Detweiler threw it to the inside. It was a fair move, but it was a harsh move. And now we've got David Munoz's company who comes through on the intact bike. Detweiler given a warning as we go side by side now with the Spaniard, the number 64 bike, who has been the forefront of some drama in the real life Moto3 Championship, and I hope that he stays out of trouble in this one, as we have also got to think about a Moto3 World Championship. Munoz to the inside, he runs a little bit wide though, not as wide as Detweiler at the front of the pack. We slot back into second place and ahead of the Spaniard, who's now got, I think that's Foggia on the CF Aspar bike, and then Bertele, who's made a good start. He's ahead of Ogden, and then it looks like Kelso, the orange helmet of Kelso, it is Kelso in P7, Pini in 8th, and Adrian Fernandez, our title rival, is up into 9th position. But as I was saying, the clouds are gathering. We've got to keep one eye in the sky as we have a big moment through turn 2. The back end coming round on us, very reminiscent of what happened to Jorge Martin in testing and Marc Marquez in Q2 a couple of years ago. That could have been disastrous for us as the back wheel just lost a little bit of grip through turn number 2. Now on the brakes, very deep into turn 4, looking to go the long way around Detweiler again, up onto the curb, no way through. and we lose a little bit of time in the process because Detweiler was able to stand it up out of turn 4 and get the drive, whereas we, as Munoz runs into the back of us there and nearly trips over our rear tyre, we had to be a lot more patient, and then we run wide, and that's surely going to be a track limits warning, and that's actually going to give Munoz the chance to go down the inside, and Munoz has gone down on the inside curb. Munoz has touched the inside curb and has crashed out of contention in Sepang. Is he out of the race? He is out of the race. He's crashed out of turn 7, and at first I thought I might have taken him out, but thankfully that wasn't the case, as Foggia throws it to the inside. Again, two different lines just converging into one there, and Foggia, the Italian on the CF Moto Asphalt bike, is up into P2, and we've now got to worry about Bertele, who's looking to try and get through as well, but we're going to go a long way round Foggia on the brakes, peel it in across his nose to the early apex, then run wide, stop it in the middle of the corner, but we couldn't get the bike turned back for a late apex, and Foggia says thank you very much, and it's through. And now it's raining. There's spots of rain falling as we cross the line to start lap number 3 of this 5-lap race. So I think if this race gets red flagged on this lap, we are just about over the cut-off point for the 2/3 as Bertele again comes through, and there's more contact with another rider. This time it's Bertele on the MTA bike, and that was just again us coming back to the line, and Bertele was there, and we made contact once and twice. Now the rider standings, as Fernandez is in 8th, we're in 4th. We would lead the championship back into Europe by 13 points, but it's not over yet because the rain continues to fall, and you can see on the bottom right of your screen our tyres are cold, stone cold. There's no grip whatsoever, and the AI are finding grip where I cannot. Ogden looking to try and get through, no way through for the British rider at this moment in time, as we now head up towards turn number 12, and I'm just praying that there's a red flag any second now. But of course, at this moment in time, we're just trying to stay ahead. We get through the 3rd sector as that's Fernandez out of nowhere. Adrian Fernandez out of nowhere comes steaming through, and he's up into P6. Here comes Kelso as well. It's going to be a 3-wide drag race to the final corner, and we have a red flag, and that should mean we do get P4, because we were P4 through the final sector, and it should go back to the previous sector, but it doesn't. It goes back to the previous lap, and we get P3, and Fernandez is relegated back to 8th. So a dramatic ending to the Moto3 World Championship. We get lucky, and it is a podium for us in Sepang. It's Detweiler who wins. Quite fitting that he wins the Malaysian Grand Prix. Foggia 2nd. We round off the podium in 3rd. Bertele 4th. Ogden 5th. Kelso Pini. Adrian Fernandez rounding out the top 8. And that gives us a couple more points buffer as we head to Portimao. 16 points clear of Adrian Fernandez and Kel Piqueras a distant 3rd, and Jose Antonio Rueda is officially out of the Moto3 Championship charge.
Where the 3rd place rider has just joined the others. Perhaps the aim was a victory, but with opponents like that, there really was little that could be done today.
Well, there we go. The Malaysian Grand Prix done and dusted. Hopefully, when I render this video, the outro of this isn't bugging like it is bugging now, because for some reason my Elgato capture card did not like the fact that I was changing the HDMI cable from my monitor on the PC to the monitor on the PS5, as I only run the one monitor, and it was having a bit of a fit. But anyway, as we look at the Moto2 World Championship, 200 points gap between Gonzalez and Ramirez. I think that's a bug. However, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that is a bug, because I'm sure it wasn't that distant when we last looked at the Moto2 World Championship. That seems like quite a lot between Canet, Gonzalez, and then back to Ramirez. But I might be wrong. It's a 2-horse race anyway between the Spaniards. The Bosco-Scuro rider of Aaron Canet, very nearly said Fantech like he is in real life, and then Manuel Gonzalez 2nd in what is a 2-horse Street 77765 Triumph powered Moto2 World Championship battle. Just got to get that plug in there, given that, you know, I do the social and PR for Triumph in Moto2. But anyway, that's the case in Moto2. MotoGP, I'm going to put my money on it being Marc Marquez bagging out a 334 points gap. Now, surely the other championships are bugging. They must be bugging. It's the 2-horse race anyway between the 2 factory Ducati teammates. Joan Mir hasn't even got a point. How does Marquez have 635 points? Is that even physically possible to have that many points in this MotoGP World Championship? But I know that they have the sprint races, but that seems like quite a lot. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Our focus is on Moto3, and next up is Portimao, the penultimate round of the World Championship, and I will see you guys with the Portuguese Grand Prix with a brand new video very soon. So until then, thank you for watching, like, subscribe, and goodbye.